He inherited an empire built by a god, but to rule in the shadow of divinity is to live without light. Welcome to the 4th episode of Death of Emperor Augustus, AD 14. Let's begin our new episode. When Augustus died in AD 14, the Roman world mourned its first emperor. But for his heir, Tiberius Julius Caesar, the mourning was short-lived. For Rome did not merely expect him to rule, it expected him to be Augustus. This was the impossible burden that defined his reign, a man of flesh and doubt, forced to live in the image of a god. The inheritor of empire. Tiberius was no stranger to power. He had led victorious campaigns in Germania, Pannonia, and Dalmatia. His soldiers respected his discipline. The Senate admired his restraint. But the people of Rome never loved him. He lacked the charisma, the warmth, the aura of destiny that had surrounded Augustus. The early months of his rule were cautious. He refused extravagant titles, declined divine honors, and told the Senate, "Do not call me Lord. The gods alone are lords of Rome." But humility can be dangerous in a system built on worship. To refuse divinity in an age of divine emperors was to appear weak, and weakness in Rome was an invitation to intrigue. The empire tests its new master. As the Senate debated decrees and the provinces waited for orders, the legions once loyal to Augustus tested their new master. In the Pannonian and Germanic camps, soldiers mutinied, demanding higher pay and early discharge. The death of Augustus had broken the spell of loyalty. Tiberius, cautious and politically astute, sent his adopted son Germanicus to restore order. Germanicus, young and charismatic, did more than pacify the troops. He inspired them. Soldiers hailed him as the true heir of Augustus, and when he led daring raids beyond the Rhine, he returned with spoils and glory. In Rome, the people cheered his triumphs. Statues were raised in his honor. The Senate praised his valor. And Tiberius, watching from the Palatine Hill, felt admiration and fear. Germanicus, the golden heir. Germanicus was everything Tiberius was not: popular, eloquent, beloved by both soldiers and citizens. He was the embodiment of the Julian ideal, the blood of Augustus flowing through his veins, the charm of Caesar reborn. Tiberius publicly honored him, but privately grew anxious. In AD 19, Germanicus fell mysteriously ill while stationed in Syria. Ancient sources, Tacitus, Suetonius, Cassius Dio, all record rumors of poison, possibly ordered by Gnaeus Piso, the governor of Syria and a loyalist of Tiberius. On his deathbed, Germanicus accused Piso of treachery. His last words were defiant. "Tell my friends that I die innocent of crime and unjustly accused." When news of his death reached Rome, the empire erupted in grief. Crowds filled the streets, temples overflowed with offerings, and the people cursed Tiberius as a murderer. Piso was tried and forced to take his own life, but suspicion clung to the emperor like smoke to marble. The withdrawal of Tiberius. After Germanicus's death, something changed in Tiberius. The emperor who had once sought balance withdrew from public life. He stopped attending Senate sessions, avoided ceremonies, and communicated through letters instead of appearances. He retreated to the island of Capri, surrounded by loyal guards and political informers. Rome called it an escape. Tiberius called it peace. But isolation breeds paranoia. From his seaside villa, he governed through a single man. Lucius Aelius Sejanus, the Praetorian prefect. Sejanus, the power behind the throne. Sejanus began as a servant of the empire, but he hungered for more. He reorganized the Praetorian Guard, moving them from scattered barracks to a fortified camp near the city, effectively creating Rome's first standing army within its own walls. With control of the guards came control of information and fear. Sejanus cultivated an image of loyalty to Tiberius while quietly eliminating rivals. Senators were accused of treason, friends turned against one another, and the trials of maiestas, crimes against the emperor's dignity, multiplied. Rome lived in a climate of whispered suspicion. A careless remark could mean exile or death. Historians later called it the reign of silence. The fall of Sejanus. By AD 31, Sejanus had become nearly as powerful as Tiberius himself. Statues of him stood in the Forum. The Senate hailed him as a partner in empire. Some whispered he would soon marry into the imperial family and seize the throne. But Tiberius, watching from Capri, never truly trusted him. When evidence reached the emperor that Sejanus was plotting a coup, Tiberius acted with cold precision. A secret letter arrived at the Senate, read aloud by the consul. It began with praise and ended with accusation. The senators, trembling, realized that Sejanus had fallen from favor. Within hours, the Praetorians who once served him turned their swords against him. He was dragged through the streets, executed, and his body thrown to the mob. His family, friends, and associates were hunted down. The terror that Sejanus had unleashed now consumed all who had shared his shadow.
Rome under fear. The empire did not collapse after Sejanus's fall. It calcified. Tiberius grew even more withdrawn, ruling through fear and informants. Executions multiplied. The Senate, terrified, passed decrees before they were asked. Yet outside the capital, life continued. Trade flourished, the legions guarded the frontiers, and roads carried the wealth of the known world. The machine Augustus built kept turning, even when its master had lost faith in humanity. In this paradox lay the genius and the curse of Rome's first dynasty. The system was too strong to fail and too ruthless to change. The death of Tiberius. In AD 37, after 23 years on the throne, Tiberius died at the age of 78. The official story says he died peacefully at Misenum. Another version, recorded by Suetonius, claims that when Tiberius briefly revived after being declared dead, the Praetorian commander Macros smothered him with a pillow to prevent confusion over succession. The Senate rejoiced. Rome celebrated in the streets. "To the Tiber with Tiberius," they shouted, a cruel pun on his name. His body was laid beside Augustus's in the mausoleum he had built for eternity, but the people denied him divine honors. The man who had inherited a god's throne died unloved, his reign remembered not for glory, but for fear. The legacy of shadows. And yet, history cannot dismiss Tiberius so easily. He preserved the empire without major wars, balanced the treasury, and maintained the peace Augustus had created. He was, in many ways, a successful ruler, but one destroyed by his own mistrust. Where Augustus had ruled with spectacle, Tiberius ruled with silence. Where Augustus had inspired devotion, Tiberius inspired obedience. And where Augustus became a god, Tiberius became a warning. His death marked the end of one generation and the uneasy beginning of another. The throne passed to Gaius Julius Caesar Germanicus, the son of the beloved Germanicus, known to history by a darker name, Caligula. From God to man, from peace to fear, from Augustus to Tiberius, Rome learned that divinity may found an empire, but humanity must bear its weight. Dear viewers, thank you all for watching. We will meet again very soon with a new video on a new topic. I wish you good health. Stay healthy, stay well. Please stay tuned, subscribe, like, comment, and share to encourage us. Thank you.